but I'm ordering everything to attack. There's my single lone tank. It's joining the fight, and I need all the tanks I can get up from my opponent sending his MCV away, but still got build radius here. That's a perfect move.
Full control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Dvoid here. This is my chosen post for the day so far. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game on Woodlands map, and I do know that one of my most loyal and favoured viewers does like this map. They've mentioned that it's one of their favourites, so there you go, enjoy Woodlands map. And I'm using Russia, and my opponent's using Russia as well for this one, and we've got a few spectators as well. I fought this player, Prince Pie, a few times, and he's got quite good. I fought this player as well. Recently I've made posts, but people often use different names and stuff. This player joined me immediately, the third spectator, the one at the top. As soon as I started to join a like a server and that to wait for a game, they joined immediately. He wasn't up for playing, but he joined immediately. And they stuck around and viewed my game. And here we are, I've sent a few rifles to look for the enemy, and they've found each other right in the middle. Luckily, one of his soldiers backed away and I got a kill. But that's 2-1. Now, these rifles, look, he's got his engineer well escorted. You would have to go round the back to do that. You know, maybe even round this way to catch the guy. You wouldn't make it in time. And I sent my fourth rifleman to escort the engineer. But I've seen this, and I know my opponent is quite likely to be here. So I've got this rifleman there, because I don't want him to just get killed and keep shedding riflemen, but I also need this engineer safe. And look, my opponent has done more than half damage to my oil derrick, but while he's fixated on that, I'll gun him down. Now he's stopped firing, but I've got that advantage. It just gave me a momentary advantage. Now my opponent's captured their oil derrick. If I'd have got anywhere near that, I'd have blown the barrels away and killed him. But I knew then that they were coming round the back, look. So I had to get away with my engineer, protect him, and then get my rifles around him, look. Because look, my opponent's still going for it. That was where my engineer was stood. I wouldn't have seen anything. Those shots would have come out of nowhere. So I knew they were there and caught them. And I didn't see where those shots landed. I just knew they were coming this way, because it's the smart thing to do. But my opponent's got their engineer and he's going over this way. Look at that, an early trek around the edge of the map, and it's a lone engineer doing it. Now, I always advise against that. You know, I'll have a rifleman here soon, and it's fairly likely to get there before the engineer gets all this way. And if he'd have gone a direct route, I would have seen him with that rifleman. So, you know, my game sense is getting there. And the places you don't protect are because of the time protection factor. Look, I'm actually searching around and stuff, and it's because my enemy can be here by this point. So, you know, and look, I'm sending my rifles. Until that point, my opponent couldn't have got there. So my game sense is on point. But it appears that my opponent's game sense is also on point. And there's my APC, and I'm thinking get that engineer inside straight away, because I know how on point this player is. And he's got his rocket soldiers, so have I. But this engineer's not going to have no joy. Actually, it looks like he's stopping in time. Interesting. It's actually a good idea to send a rifleman that far then, because it also protects your expansion from base pushers and lets you know if there's a base push. But I'm trying to pick off lone riflemen that are scouting, and I see this force approaching, and I have to keep my APC safe because my engineer's inside. My opponent hasn't got theirs inside. Their engineer's down here, don't forget. Our build orders look equal. 3 refineries, war factories, so we should... I've got my service depot. My opponent hasn't, so he's been a bit distracted, but I'm trying to deal with this flak truck menace. And my opponent's got a flak truck and an APC, but it's that badly damaged it hasn't come back into the fight. Without the service depot, although he's about to place it now, which means his APC will be out of action for a few seconds. And I saw the flak truck is doing nice, like sniping, but as soon as I get my APC to give me a bit of view range, there you go, look, it's gone. You have to be very careful and manage that flak truck. And look, he needs to get his APC. It still hasn't been repaired, so it's been out of action all that time. If it had have gone into combat, it would have died. So it's been out of the game, and still is, until it's repaired. Now I thought, well, I'm taking the chance. I'm going to destroy this oil derrick. Let's check on early army values. I'm at 7,000. My opponent's at 6. And there you go. Let's see what my opponent can see, because I thought if he just thinks that's all that's there, he'll send something. And run into, whoops, I don't want 200%, sorry, run into my troops, look. But I didn't quite have enough protection there. And he sniped my engineer, and the APCs bought it. And look, and my opponent's making some comments. Not happy with my APC, but it is important. And I just put yes. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, and then I was like, wait for the Gren drops. You ain't seen nothing yet. And obviously I haven't been using my Gren drops much lately, but it's on my mind. That's a good sign. So I'm thinking about them again. I'm at 11,000. My opponent's at 8. So those few losses that they've shed have actually done a bit of damage. And I thought there's got to be an expansion moving up soon because mine's in place. And I saw this straight away and thought, right, get your APC to block that. And then I thought, right, the enemy is going to be coming. Surely they're going to be sending everything now. So I had to get away. And it looks like I was just in time. And I thought about putting the tank in between my troops and the enemy infantry, but then thought, no, actually, I can't be shedding and wasting my first tank like that. So I'm moving back and my opponent didn't pursue. That's good. I'm at 14,000, my opponent's at 10,000, so I fell back at the right moment. I would have lost all this here, and I would probably have lost my APC trying to protect them. And that would have lost my engineer as well. My opponent's engineer is still down there. But he's protected that with a Tesla coil. And he's catching up in army value. It's 1512. You know, we're growing in army size. 1613. Let's have a look. Now, what's he thinking? Oh, he's sending out rifle scouts and stuff. I'm checking to see if he's going to expand this far yet. Now, my first thought, I'm sending an eco raid, look. Now, that's before any attacks really have happened. So, you need to be working on your eco raids. I just shot the engineer, look. There's my veteran rifleman. Shot dead. You don't do that with your engineers, and even if you wait a little bit, it won't help you. But there you go. I'm sending them a roundabout route to check to see if my opponent's expanded here and to attack here. Now, I don't know that he's not there, look. This is what I can see. So I don't know this army's here. You know, it's a dangerous time. That's why I haven't sent many units. I've sent a tank, and it looks like a single rocket soldier, to be fair, but they'll harass. And I saw the enemy coming, saw that, and packed up straight away. Tried to get my ore truck and my MCV out of there. So I've lost an expansion immediately upon it being built. But I'm bringing my army into position, and I'm trying to stop that APC from running into the enemy first and getting destroyed for nothing. Now, these are two crucial units down here. They need to escape, and my rifle guard is telling me they're pursuing. But I saw this here and thought, right, so it's throwing off my response. I didn't know if he was moving through this way or going this way, but then when I saw that, it told me. And now I'm probably giving a lot of orders, trying to wonder about what to do. And I saw this is enough to stop these guys. Now I can focus on my opponent's army. But I keep having to get that APC out of there. And I saw an attack here and I thought, oh, this isn't good. But I've got primary production there already, so I was on the ball, good game sense. But I saw stuff like, you know, I was worried about down here. But there you go, there's the combat. Now my opponent's falling back because he knows not to throw that away when I'm ready. And my opponent's moved this force away from where my defences are and is going for my best expansion, my only source of income really. I've got 2 ore trucks here, but there you go, I'm slaughtering this army. And there's a tank there. There's a lot of things going on, distractions. I don't know if you picked up that in the background. If you do, I apologise. But there you go, there's my defence here, but my opponent did very well to destroy that refinery. They've sacrificed these units, but still, you know, I'm trying to respond to multiple threats, and I've seen damaged power plants, and my attack here realised there is no expansion on that side, so I thought, right, I've got to do something, and continued there. But look how my army is split up. Luckily, after that attack, my opponent has lost a lot of units, and it's left me at 27,000 army value to 11,000 army value, and my opponent's ready here, look. He's no slouch. Look at that, ready straight away. So I thought, right, I still have to make some use of this. So I'm keeping the tank away, and it's going on a little eco-raid, look, to here. That's an extra distraction, and I thought, right, while my opponent has lost a lot of units, I'm going to gather an army and smash him. And there's my APC, keeps going back and forth, look. Because it can't go into battle, it needs repairing, but I'm ordering everything to attack. There's my single lone tank. It's joining the fight, and I need all the tanks I can get up front. My opponent's sending his MCV away, but still got build radius here. That's a perfect move. And he's focusing everything he can to defend. He's got his Tesla coil, and I was running out of tanks fairly quickly. And that was a problem, which is why I'm even calling this one up. Look, I'm running out of tanks. I've got one with my troops about to die, and now I've got one close by, so I've got no vehicles. That could have led to me losing, and I'm worried about attacks elsewhere. Here's my... I desperately need another expansion, though. Should have had at least a base defence there, but there you go. My opponent's running away with what units he's got left here. The MCV's running. And this force is going on an eco-raid. Have they found my base? That's where my attention is. And my opponent's consolidating here. And look, they've found my base. Have I not got a base defence ready? No. Oh yes, in a few seconds. 2 seconds. It's lost. I've lost it. Too late. And... there you go. I thought I'd lost my engineer somehow there. The APC had it waiting to deploy and capture this for ages, and it just didn't happen. But I know, look here, I've overrun my opponent. I've got 3 tanks with this horde of infantry. There's nothing he can do there, but he hasn't got a barracks here. He needs to consolidate and be producing troops here. But this is a nice thing to use an eco-raid. 3 tanks will slaughter this group of ore trucks, and there's another attack here, look. They destroyed my MCV. But I've got more than enough. I don't need much to stop them. And look, there you go, destroying the refinery. I'm not messing about. I'm just getting this guy done because I know if it's not over, I don't know if he's got another base somewhere. But that escaped. Look, well done. Just get that away. The APC's repaired. And look, he still hasn't got a barracks. That means that your final stand isn't going to happen. I've lost an ore truck, 2, 3 ore trucks. Hopefully I won't lose the 4th because I'm responding, look. And they're so powerful, those heavy tanks. Lost another ore truck. But that won't really matter. I've got a 24,000 army value. My opponent's struggling. Yeah, he's producing infantry there. Yeah, I'm saving that ore truck. Look, it'll take a single hit from just about anything to finish it. But I've got enough there to stop them. They're defending that, and this army is searching for the enemy. It's obviously over. My opponent's got an engineer, look. It's going for the oil derrick. Very nice. I wonder how much cash he's got. He's got nearly 5 grand, that's why he probably doesn't want to give up. And he's also got two MCVs. So if he's got 2 MCVs and more cash than me, and enough to make a last stand, I don't blame him for not giving up. But now I've realised where he's going to be, look. My army is moving in. Now I've still got this separate force working separately, and the APC can quickly regroup with this infantry if it needs to. But look, I'm about to find the MCV, the APC, no, it's an ore truck, sorry. The ore truck here, caught it with a veteran infantry reconnaissance squad. And there you go, here's my final push. My opponent's got an expansion set up there with infantry. That's where he should be focusing his last stand now. Saving what assets he can here, running away, and building troops over here. If he wants to continue, that's what he should be doing. It's futile. And there you go. That's the overrunning of the enemy, final position. There's my primary production. I'm starting to try and protect this. And my opponent's got their MCV set up there. I've got 2 barracks. I bet the power situation isn't great. It'll be 0. So yeah, you can't. There's no point fighting under those conditions. And that's it. Even the spectators are saying that's the end of that. So there you go. I'll go through the graphs and charts and everything for you. and have a look at it. There's the army graphs. Look, I took off after the first engagements, and my army value took off a lot more than my opponents, and I suffered some losses, look, but it didn't get very close to me at any point after that. But I didn't know, it wasn't easy at all. My opponent fought well, but look at the earnings, how my earnings dropped when I had this as my only expansion, and if he'd have attacked that earlier, it may have been a very different story, but I found the last of the enemy, except for this, of course. But yeah, look at how my earnings dropped. Could have done with some thief work. But there's my army. I've got plenty of heavy tanks. My APC still intact. Hero APC. And a decent amount of troops. Here's the army value. I'm at 26,000 at the moment. Probably going to be more rather than less by the end. But I lost 5 structures. My opponent's lost 39 as it stands at the moment. I killed 211 units. My opponent's killed 169 so far. Support powers, there are none in effect, although, because this was dragging on, I was thinking, right, do I need to actually start building an airfield now to hunt for my enemy's final assets? I was actually considering that. But there's no support powers at the moment. We're both still producing. My opponent's struggling to produce a rocket soldier with a single barracks and power plant, and I'm still producing heavy tanks. But I've got 5 ore trucks left, even with all the losses I took. I'm okay, I've got all the assets I need. We both hung on to our oil derricks, so my opponent's engineer didn't make it. And I earned 102,000 at the moment. My opponent earned 92,000. Let's have a look at the basics. I was at 28 actions per minute. My opponent was at 40 actions per minute, giving some orders there. But let's have a look. This is that's the last thing, look, the MCV. So I'm at 29,000 army value now. Lost 5 structures. My opponent lost 43 structures by the end of it. 218 kills to me. 269 to my opponent. And that's about all we need to know, all we need to see. It was a good one, that. There's the final scores, 867 to me, 432 to my opponent. It was just their attacks didn't make their mark. They lost too much for too little gain, and I held it together. But it was not easy, it was a good game, and I'm glad that I've got some good spectators that know me and view my content. Thank you for viewing. I hope they enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope everyone else enjoys it as well. If you did like what you saw, give us a sub and a like, and thank you very much for watching. Take good care of yourselves, and until next time, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.